3 straight MAAC tournament titles. He's Shane Dennehy, and I'm Bryan Schwartz, and this is the Rebound on Q30 Sports. Shane, the Quinnipiac women's basketball team has won its 3rd straight MAAC tournament title, a feat that nobody's surprised by at this point, and it comes led by their 5 seniors.
Yeah, Brian, the senior class has just been unreal. What they've been able to accomplish, and obviously their freshman years, they experienced the pain of losing on this very floor, losing to Iona after losing Maria Napolitano in the semifinals. So they know what it's like. They've been able to accomplish such an incredible feat. And what the senior class did, they've just consistently led by example all throughout this year. And I tweeted out a tweet late in the game. Their Quinnipiac at the time, I believe, had 73 points at the time, and then the seniors accounted for 65 of those points, which is just unreal what they were able to do. And Brittany Martin didn't even score. That was the other 4 seniors, what they were able to do. So just their performance, Jen Fay consistently rising to the occasion in these big games. She was MAAC tournament MVP last year. Again, this year, 25 points. She had 23 last year, and they didn't even know she was going to play, and she still balled out last year.
And it was a 30-point advantage that they had when the buzzer sounded at the end of the game. And this is against a team like Marist that is a very good team in this conference, and in a lot of other mid-major conferences, they could win. So that just makes this even more impressive.
I was just so surprised, and obviously we were talking before the game. We're like, you're like, how much are they going to beat them by? Because, Quinnipiac just so dominant. And honestly, I was really expecting a lot closer game. I really was. I was giving Marist a lot of credit. Rebecca Hand is a great player. Alana Gilmer, talented player. Grace Vanderweide, just a phenomenal player, really underrated. She had 25 points in this game, but Quinnipiac able to just keep Rebecca Hand out of the game, and Alana Gilmer, I'm going to assume that she was still suffering some lingering effects from that stomach bug that kept her out of the MAAC semifinal against Ryder, because she really didn't do much. I believe Rebecca Hand and Alana Gilmer only combined for 13 points, which just isn't going to get it done for Marist. So, I'm really surprised. I am surprised by the result. I knew Quinnipiac was going to win. I didn't think it was going to be that dominant of a margin.
So it was a healthy margin for Quinnipiac over Marist. Now they get that automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. After the game, head coach Trisha Fabry said she expects around an 11 seed for the tournament. Is that what you expect?
I think so. An 11-12 I think is fair. Charlie Cream, who's the bracketologist on the women's side for ESPN, that he believes they're going to be a 12 seed against Old Foe Marquette, who started Quinnipiac's Cinderella run 2 years ago to the Sweet 16. So I think a 12 is fair. Trisha Fabry, after going to the Sweet 16, she really started to challenge Quinnipiac and play a very tough out-of-conference schedule. I don't think it was as successful as they would have wanted to. It was a nail-biter against Drexel. They got Bucknell of the Patriot League, beat them by a lot, which was unfortunate. Then they blew the lead against UCF, which she mentioned. But they did play Texas, who was at the time number 8 in the country, and only lost by 1. So it's very hard to determine how they're going to be. So I think a 12 and 11 would be fair. But then again, I was very surprised last year when they got a 9. So who really knows?
So we know what they have accomplished. They have gotten to the Sweet 16 already. They won a game last year. They played a good game against UConn, the number 1 UConn team. What is left to accomplish for this team?
I think that Cinderella run to the Sweet 16, really, that set the expectations, and that can be the expectations for this program, especially with the talent they have. I mean, the senior class has just been absolutely outstanding for them. So I think depending on the seeding, a 12 gives them that chance. They play a 5. I think they could be the best 12 seed, so they could get the worst 5, and then they could play a 4. So they could have a shot at going to the Sweet 16. So I think it all comes down to seeding, because when you're at 11, you get the 6, but then you get the winner of the 3-14, so you got to hope the 14 wins and pulls that shocker. It's just hard, so I do think a Sweet 16 is realistic with the senior class.
Well, no matter what, they are in the NCAA tournament with this MAAC tournament victory. He's Shane Dennehy. I'm Bryan Schwartz. And be sure to check out all of Q30's content on Q30TV.com and at Q30 Sports on Twitter. Quinnipiac is headed back to the NCAA tournament. And how we feeling, Bobcat Nation?